Well, hello there. It's been a while. Hey, it's Niko from Whorticulture. How's it going? Good to see you.
Hey everybody, it's Eric from Whorticulture.
And today we are going to be talking about 2023, kind of a year in review. Say, what happened for horticulture in 2023? So you've probably noticed, but we've been gone for a little bit.
Just wanted to take the time. I know we haven't really been that present on social media.
We've taken a little hiatus from social media and doing all the band things to focus on our own stuff for a little bit. And by own stuff, I mean focusing on our personal lives, our physical health, our mental health, and just sort of taking a break from things for a little bit. We noticed that as we got toward the end of the year that both Eric and I were feeling a little burnt out on, well, life in general. So, rather than having everything completely implode, we decided it was probably smart to just take a little bit of time off and focus on ourselves and our personal lives for a little while. And we're feeling a little bit better, so that is good. And hopefully we can get a rollin' on things, as nobody says. So 2023 was a very mixed year, I think, for us. While we had some amazing highs and some wonderful positive moments across the year, especially for the band itself, we also had a lot of challenges and struggles across that year. But let's start with the positives. What were the highlights of 2023? Product placement.
All right, favorite moment of 2023. Such a tough year that it's almost hard to think about the positive things of the last year. I mean, there's a lot of good amount of positive things that have happened.
As I said, there were a lot of wonderful moments in 2023, and to me, the very pinnacle of that, because, let's start with the best and just kind of work our way down to kind of lukewarm, because that's how you do YouTube. You don't want to keep people around until the end, like save the best one. Oh no! Talk about the best one first and then just kind of get more and more mediocre as you go. But for me, the first thing we did this year was also, for me personally, the highlight of 2023. And that was in the end of April. We finally released the first single we'd been working on for quite a long time. The first single from season 2 of Whorticulture. You know it already, probably, if you're watching this video. The song The Price of Fame, of course, featuring the amazing Sven Friedrich from Solar Fake. It was a lot of pressure, I think, on both of us.
For real. Walt, shut up! Walt! There's no one there. Fuck you.
Because this was the first music that we had released since we put out Crucify in the summer of 2021. So I know I put a lot of pressure on myself. And fortunately for us, it was very well received by so many of you. So many positive comments and wonderful things, and it became very, very quickly our most streamed song on Spotify. Didn't take long, and that was really fun and exciting to watch that, especially during the initial launch of that song, and just kind of seeing the numbers go up and up and up. And I know it doesn't really mean anything. It's most likely vanity metrics or ego. But I'm still a person, and I still have an ego, and we still look for validation in the world to say, like, hey, all that hard work you did? Good job. Thank you. And getting the positive comments and seeing the numbers and things like that really, really made a difference for us. It was surprising, and often I didn't necessarily believe that it was happening. So it was very cool. And yeah, as I said, it became our most streamed song on Spotify in just a handful of months, surpassing songs that already had, 5 digits in the streaming numbers, tens of thousands, 10-ish thousands, I guess, to start, that had been out for like 3 years. So that's pretty amazing, and I do attribute, of course, a lot of that to having Sven on there. I know we got a lot of Solar Fake fans over from that, not only the tour, but from the song. And so if you are one of those people that found us from that, welcome. We're very glad to have you.
Pick your poison, choose your fate.
This is exactly what I wanted. This is Fuck, I like this a lot. This is going right in my fucking playlist. Hell yeah.
Getting Price of Fame mixed and mastered and sent out to everybody. From a mixing perspective, that was a really challenging song to mix. Variety of factors, getting all the mix balance things right and getting it to hit hard in the club, making sure it's not overpressed and all that stuff. But also, like tone matching Sven and Niko and getting the relationship and making it sound like they're both part of the same record. So
we ended up with 4 times as many streams on Spotify as we did at the end of last year, or I should say the previous year, because it's 2024 now. In the end of 2022, after the tour, we had like 17,000 streams total that year, which is nothing to sneeze at. Still more than I thought we would ever have. And then at the end of 2023, when we did the Spotify Wrapped, we almost had 100,000 streams. We're at 97K. And I think with just a few more weeks, we most likely would have hit that. But they do that at the beginning of December, end of November. Forget when it was. Whatever. But at that point, 97,000 streams, like that starts to feel like big boy numbers. These are big kid numbers, not this little kid 17K bullshit. But it was still neat, okay? It was neat. It was neat. As I said, Eric and I have been playing in bands for a long time, and we've released albums as those bands, and we've never had anything like this before. It just feels like a lot of struggle and failure, and no one ever gave a shit. So to be at a point where we have 100,000 streams across a year is still weird, and I don't believe it. And I'm sure I'll find a way to make it negative because that's how my brain works. And of course, we also released a music video for that, and there's sort of the combo of those two things where, for me, one of the best moments, because it was not only getting a lot of wonderful feedback and finally putting something out to the world, but it was also sort of the release of all this stress and pressure that we had put on ourselves for so long, because it's like, when are we gonna fucking put something out, god damn it? And of course, we'll get to why that is the case in just a few minutes.
The shows that we played were amazing.
Later that year, we did our very first show, actually not too far after that. Let me see, there's a poster right there. You can only see the bottom of it. But we had a chance to open for, had a chance, sounds like we didn't get the opportunity, doesn't it? We had a chance, but didn't happen. We actually did open up for Frontline Assembly, a band that is, one of the progenitors of industrial music. Like, they were around in the 90s. They've been around for so long, and to be able to be part of a show where we get to support them and be part of an event with these guys was really mind-blowing.
Obviously, Frontline was amazing.
It's like, oh my god, these guys are like legends. What the fuck are we doing here? Obviously, we didn't belong. But we limped along. We played a couple little tunes and beep, boop, 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 boop. And people, they tolerated us. They went. So that was nice. But for real, it was a really, really cool show. And up until that point, that was the biggest show we had played. I heard there was at least 400 or something plus. Again, I'm sorry, I don't have the numbers. But that evening, there may have been more than that. There may not have been 400 while we were on, but at least for Frontline Assembly, there was probably up 400 people there. So that's pretty fucking cool. But that was a wonderful honor to be part of that whole experience. Later that year, we got to play a show with our good buddies, Matt Black. They came back. They've been in Denver a few times now, and they had been planning a big show to come back and headline here in Denver. And of course, every time they come through, we love hanging out with these guys. We pretty much consider them brothers at this point.
Matt Black, our buddies, love them. I got to run sound for them also earlier in the year for their big show with Health.
Not only are they fantastic musicians, super creative, make amazing music that we genuinely respect and love, but they're also really cool dudes and great sense of humor. So it's a wonderful opportunity to just be really silly and stupid and shoot the shit with our brothers. So that was always an amazing opportunity to play with them. And thank you to everyone who came out to that show, because we got to see a lot of friends and family and things on that one. So that was also really, really cool. Probably the biggest show, not even probably. Why am I saying probably? I don't know. Because it was objectively the biggest show that we played to date was also in 2023. And that was our Halloween night show, opening up for She Wants Revenge. It's, again, another moment like the Frontline Assembly thing, where here's these guys, She Wants Revenge, that have all these singles out and these songs that have been played in the clubs for years, stuff that Eric and I have been dancing to for a long time. And suddenly, you know, we put together our little band, our little tiny little baby band. And then here we are suddenly opening for a band that we've been dancing to for a long time. And it's weird.
She Wants Revenge is like, I mean, grew up listening to that. So crazy to be able to play with them.
It's just weird. It's very odd. I have trouble appreciating positive things and trouble accepting positive things. I tend to mostly just look at the negatives, which sucks. I'm trying to be better at that, accepting positive experiences, but it was very surreal. And what I heard from the promoter, and again, I don't have specific numbers, I'm sorry about that, but the promoter told me that there was, at least at one point in the night, over 1,000 people for the Halloween show. That's nuts. So that is definitely the biggest show that we've ever played for. And then we rounded out the year in terms of shows, being able to do a show with the Satanic Temple here in Denver, which is something that Eric and I have been wanting to do for a while. They do events across the year, and they do a Saturnalia event in December, and we were very, very excited to be asked to be a part of that. But if you are not familiar with the Satanic Temple, if that sounds really scary and evil to you, they are a secular humanist organization. And yes, they do qualify for religious status as well. But they do a lot of wonderful activism and outreach stuff that both Eric and I really support. They're very big on women's reproductive rights. They're supportive of trans rights, the queer community. They do wonderful outreach stuff. And so therefore, we wanted to be a part of an event with them at some point in time, and we got to. So that was really fun. Lots of really cool people.
Just means so much that everybody comes out and supports us, and we have the opportunity to actually play those shows. We've worked so hard in many bands and at our instruments and learning how to produce a record, getting all years of building up all this gear to make records. It's like kind of culminates. It makes it worth it. So thank you guys again.
What are some examples of artists who, in your opinion, are doing something fresh and exciting and new? I want to check out some new music. There are a lot of them. And in our thing, in the industrial world, we got Matt Black, we got GenCab, we got Whorticulture, we got Rain, we got a lot of new great stuff out here. It's not part of the paradigm. We need a paradigm shift that takes us away from focusing on the past and focusing on the future on all of these great new bands.
So a lot of cool events. We didn't do tons of shit in 2023. And the other reason for that is because, well, we were both very busy. There was a lot of stuff that happened in 2023 in between releasing a song and a music video, playing those handful of shows across the year. Eric was probably the most busy that he's ever been. He was taking on a lot of gigs on the weekends and a lot of other projects to make money as he was in a place where he really wanted to pay down a lot of debt. And I don't blame him because the economy sucks and I got debt too. And I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna pay it off.
Been really taking on a lot of gigs. And these are like sound gigs and staging gigs. Of all the jobs I could have, I like it the most. But I have created a job and a career that sometimes I'm the only one that could do it on a lot of stuff. So Alexa, turn the fridge off. It makes it really, really hard to outsource that. It's not like, maybe like a serving job, you get somebody to cover your shift. For somebody to cover a shift can be really daunting because, you have to find somebody that can do all the things that you can do for a client that you want to keep. And you don't want that to get soured because they'll go find someone next year and you're like, I need that next year. Also in 2023, I did a fair amount of mixing and producing for other bands. And we had some great stuff come out.
So he was super busy. He also took 2 tour gigs, not with the band, but as a sound guy and as a sort of jack of all trades person as well, at the beginning of the year before we released The Price of Fame, he did Solar Fake's West Coast US tour with them as their sound guy. And, I just hung out here and went to work and, just sat here alone. It was fine. I didn't want to go or anything. I didn't want to be part of that. And then later that year, he took a second touring sound guy gig with Priest and Aeon Rings, which is also fucking cool.
The Solar Fake and Priest tours were pretty fun. It is grueling. Everybody sees like the bands playing, and it's like all the crazy things that it took to get a band there, especially on our level, where it's a bunch of people packing in to a van, dragging a trailer around. There's so many environmental factors that go into that you have to know a lot about that sort of thing. Besides that, I love my tour mates, and I like to be there to put everything I can, my whole skill set, into making sure the tour is successful, but also that morale is high and the band sound good, because I've gone to so many concerts where it's like I can't get my head around how bad the mix sounds in a venue. I'm not saying I'm the greatest sound guy ever, but I always approach it and in a place like, if I was somebody watching a band and I know how much they want to convey their music to people, and what would it be like if I could marry the two visions together.
So he was a busy bee, and we realized that over the course of the year we had these shows that kept happening, and again, not tons, but enough times that any free time we would have had got devoted towards rehearsing for those next shows, rather than being in the studio and being able to work on the rest of season 2, which is what we really, really wanted to do. Rounding out the fact that Eric was super busy, I was also busy with work. I had to take on more shifts just to cover the bills with inflation and everything like that. So I have even less time to work and be in the studio and to work on creative stuff and music stuff and anything. And it really sucks. It really sucks. So both of us were extremely busy. And on top of that, especially toward the end of the year, we had a lot of things going on in our personal life as well that made life very challenging. I won't speak to that very much, but one of the big things that happened, which I did post about, was my little buddy, my companion, my cat of over 13 years, passed away at the end of the year, and that one's been really hard. I didn't really realize how much he was able to help me deal with challenges in my life until he was gone. Because it's not like he solves them for me. He doesn't sit there and give me advice or something. But it was so comforting just to have him there when I would deal with any sort of stress or anxiety or any other problems in my life. And I could always rely on him. He was always there. He was always there for me in his cat way. So I miss him. But it's been hard. Both of us have, both Eric and I, have been dealing with a lot of stuff, and yeah, it's been hard.
For the first time in my life, I had to deal with some health issues that I didn't know what they were, like back hurting all the time, and have to go see a doctor for my back, which is never something that you want to go and try to figure out in your late 30s. So naturally there's a lot of anxiety around that, and that sort of stuff really makes it hard to concentrate on life in general and art projects when you're already trying to figure out, what's going on with your stupid body.
That, combined with a lot of other factors, got us to the point where we felt like we were almost burnt out completely on what we were doing. And that sucks, especially when music is what we love, and music is what we've wanted to do since we were children. And I just kind of got to the point, and I think Eric did too, where we just weren't feeling it. And we needed to take a step back. We needed to reevaluate and kind of get back in touch with why we do this in the first place. Get back to that sense of passion and excitement and kind of renew that whole thing.
Especially going forward to 2024, we really want to focus on why we started this in the first place, focusing on the creative aspect of things. We decided to not take as many shows. I'm trying to rest up. At least, especially these last few months, it's been, not taking very many strenuous gigs, mostly just studio stuff. So, yeah, we're trying to get back to that element of what we love doing.
And that's what we're focused on right now. We're focused on sort of rekindling that fire for our main passion in life, what we've been building towards since we were little kids. The only thing, at least for me, that I've ever wanted to do is to be a creative person, full-time. Music, performance, art, whatever, videos. That's what I love to do. I don't want to do anything else. So it sucks when you feel like you don't even want to do that. But hey, you know what? Everything in life is a phase. You work through it, you get over it, and you move on. And that's what we're doing. So that is what we are focusing on in 2024, getting back to the core of what we're doing here, focusing on what we love and why we love to do this, making things simpler, making things more focused on what our needs are right now. And one of those big things is taking a step back from all the shows and the gigs and stuff that we had been doing and just focusing on getting out new music.
2024 is definitely the year that I want to focus more on my own projects and our own projects.
And that is one of the main priorities for 2024. So we have some really exciting things in store, and I can actually say that with more of a guarantee this time. I'm not going to give you dates, of course, but 2024, absolutely, we do have new music in the works. In fact, we just spent an entire week in the studio recording all that new music, and I'm very much looking forward to that. Maybe I'll tell you some more about that in a future video.
We're feeling pretty good about starting things off and having finally new jams coming through that we really love too. So it's like that part is going to be amazing.
But for now, I just want to say thank you so much, all of you who have been supporting us throughout the years, even if you've just found us or if you've been with us for a while. It really means a lot.
Thank you so much for your love and support, you guys. It means so much.
And of course, all of our fantastically active and silly and quirky and weird Discord members. You guys are great, and it really keeps us going.
I swear I'm going to try to make myself more available for the Discord when I'm in the field somewhere listening to a shitty cover band. So I'll be thinking of you guys and see if I can get away for a little bit and talk to all you guys. So thank you so much. Can't wait to show you guys 2024.
So thank you. Thank you for sticking with us and helping us, this tiny little band with only 7 songs, get to wherever it is we are now, which is, if I look around my room, is the exact same place I've been for many years, in my house. But yes, stick with us. We have new music on the way for 2024, which I'm very excited about. Finally, let's get the goddamn rest of season 2 out. Oh, we've been sitting on it for so long. Can you tell? I have emotions about this. I have feelings. A little frustration. A little bit. Yes, new music coming. And perhaps in a future video, I will tell you more about this really awesome studio vacation week I literally just got back from, recording with Eric on the rest of season 2. But anyway, thank you again for sticking with us, and we will talk to you soon. I hope you're doing well, and I wish you a much more positive 2024 than our 2023. We can both use that.
Happy 2023. Can't wait for 2024. Rock and roll.
All right. Love you guys. Bye.